Miller introduced me as doing music because I'm going to start off with some spoken word. If you were here last week, you got to hear this, so I'm sorry if you get to hear it again, but somebody else wanted to hear me do this, so I don't write very often, but I decided to do some writing recently. So we're going to do them in the opposite order that I did them last time. I got two pieces, one kind of medium length, one kind of short, and then I'm going to do a song on the guitar, and then I'll do a song on the hurdy-gurdy. So I'm going to try to stay tight because Tom Miller is kind of lamenting people taking too long up here on stage. So, I'm giving you shit. It's fine. I'm still going to do whatever the fuck I'm going to do up here anyway. Anyway, this is called Birthday. On the day I was born, the Iran hostage crisis was in its 292nd day. The country was deep into the Islamic Revolution. America had become the enemy, and Iran's people were now in the grip of an oppressive religious regime. U.S.-Iran relations are still fraught to this day, and Iran's people still suffer under the Ayatollah now. On the day I was born, there was a heat wave in the south that killed 360 people since it began in June. It would last through September and ultimately claim some 10,000 lives. That same day, Paul McCartney and Wings were at the top of the Billboard charts, and Tommy Two Tone's Angels Say No rounded at the top 100. Actress Kristen Connolly was also born on that day. Her career never brought her serious stardom, but she's seen steady work in film and television for almost 20 years. The only thing I ever saw her in was a Netflix series called Zoo. Also on that day, The Empire Strikes Back had been playing in theaters since May, and it was still dominating the box office, grossing more than $250 million. That's almost $1 billion adjusted for inflation. It was July 12, 1980, by the way. That makes me a Cancer, or monkey in the Chinese zodiac, one of the last to bear the moniker of Gen X, and a witness to the waning days of the 20th century. Front row seats for the 80s, the AIDS crisis, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the rise of Weird Al Yankovic. That day in Nashville, Tennessee, the Reverend Melvin Perry was the lone protester at a full-dress KKK wedding. He bore a sign that read, "Christ, not KKK, for God so loved the world, all races." He was a veteran of the Korean War, a devout Christian, and a loyal employee at Sears. He spent his free time proselytizing against bigotry and white supremacy, carrying signs denouncing the KKK. He was often alone in this. He was white, by the way. While I was doing my research for the poem, I was confronted with dozens of obituaries for people born on the same day, but they died much earlier than I myself would like to. Every link had a thumbnail image of a face and a different story to tell. I read all of them. A cook, a plumber, a massage therapist, mothers, artists, public servants, a special needs teacher who miraculously survived a traumatic brain injury earlier in her life. All kinds of people. Some of the obituaries didn't say much at all. Just an announcement of their death, the name of the next of kin. But at least someone cared enough to publish it. Some of them were full biographies written by someone who deeply cared for and admired the deceased. Their words testament to the power of love and grief. Some of them could have almost been my own, barring a few changes. But I dared not explore the causes of death. Some of those lines read, "Died unexpectedly, a tragic and sudden loss. They had their troubles, but their heart was pure. Maybe they just had an accident. Maybe they committed suicide. Maybe they had a heart condition or got a nasty infection. Maybe it was cancer. I don't need to know. But regardless, I never expected to meet so many new people when I started writing this. Our paths began at the same time, like siblings from alternate worlds. Some of us left that path too soon, and those still living will walk beside me on their own journeys to whatever end awaits us. Our lives and our friends and our families are as precious as they are diverse. Maybe our paths will cross one day. And the day I was born was nothing special, but every day after that's been a gift. So, yeah. All right. So this is the fun one. This is the fun. This is a short one. This one's called Pizza Boy. It's a love story. I saw you in a dream once. I was on my knees and you held my face with both hands and you kissed me so gently, your lips soft against mine, the smell of whiskey and sweat and clove cigarettes. I lean into you for a deeper kiss, but you pull back, teasing me. and I fall forward. The restraints are strong, though. My arms are snatched tight where they're cuffed behind my back. I'm leaning, straining against the pain of my shoulders, and you laugh, watching me hang there. I didn't give you permission to kiss me, you say, as your open hand meets my right cheek. I try to mutter an apology, but I'm interrupted by your other hand on the other cheek. You grab my hair, pull me upright again, barely giving me time to get my balance before you press your manhood deep into my throat. Eyes watering, choking, saliva pouring out of the glands in my mouth and running down my neck. It's getting hard to breathe. Even if I wanted to use the safe word, I don't think I could. I could see stars now, skin red, veins bulging. Just as I start to wonder if it's going to be over soon, your rhythm slows. Fingernails dig into my scalp, your flesh swells, and your gift floods my mouth, hot and sticky and more than I was expecting. I barely manage to swallow what's not on my face and breathlessly utter a thank you, sir. Suddenly your hand wraps around my throat, slamming me against the wall, and you kiss me deeply, almost tenderly, as you reach behind me to undo the cuffs. You let go of my throat, and I slump to the floor on my hands and knees, shoulders burning, gasping for breath. I gaze up at your eyes, and I see a wry smile across your lips just before you spit in my face. Fucking faggot. Scream at me, kick me to the floor. As you reach for the whip on the wall, you remind me that you bought some Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and it'll be waiting for us when we're done. You also promised to order a pizza, pepperoni and mushroom with a side of garlic butter to dip the crust in. It's my favorite. I've never been happier. So we're going to take a slightly different direction with the music here. We did talk about religion earlier, and I had a song that has some religious themes. This is written by a lady named Catherine Faber in 1994. And she's a scientist. It's really interesting when you read music that's written by people who have PhDs. So we'll see how this goes. It's called the Word of God. Trace the wide design, strikes that fall lower thrust and sin and decline. Gaze upon creation where erosion makes it known. Count the countless eons in the banding of a stone. Oblong vanished creatures, and their tracks and shells are found. The truth is left as sketches on the slate below the ground. Patient stone to speak if we would listen when it talks. Humans wrote the Bible. God wrote the rocks. They wrote those who named the stars. Watch the sky by night, seeking out the darkest place to better see the light. Long ago when torture broke the remnants of his will, Galileo recanted, but the earth is moving still. High above the mountaintops were only distant spars. The truth has left its footprints in the dust between the stars. And we may watch or study, or may shudder and deny. Humans wrote the Bible. God wrote the sky. By stem and root and branch we trace, by feather, fang and fur, how the living things that are descend from those that were. The moss, the kelp, the zebrafish, the very mice and flies. Tiny, humble, wordless things, how shall they tell us lies? We are kin to beast, no other answer can we bring. Truth has left its fingerprints on every living thing. Remember when choose between them in the strife. Humans wrote the Bible, God wrote life. And we who listen to the stars walk the dusty grade, or break the very atoms down to see how they are made. To study cells or living things, see truth with open hand. The profoundest act of worship is to try to understand. Deep in flower and in flesh, and star and soil and seed, truth is left its living word for anyone to read. So turn and look where best you think the story is unfurled. Humans wrote the Bible, God wrote the world. God wrote the world. We get there again. It's a work in progress. I literally started trying to learn this song earlier today, so. Alright. I got one more of the cranky box over there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. All right.
While we're setting up for the hurdy-gurdy, once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. Hope you stick it out till the end. That sounds weird. Yeah, stick it out till the end. I'll be here. I've been here for most of the shows from beginning to end, but there's only one person who's been to more shows than I have. Can you imagine who that might be?
Daryl.
Close. Close. It's the Reverend Angel Dust, ladies and gentlemen. What a privilege to hang with this guy. He was doing shows here already when I moved here in 1984. He was already doing shows. One of the first things I did when I got to town was go to a poetry reading that the Reverend Angel Dust hosted. And believe me, it was amazing. There were 3 times as many people as there are here. And like this show's popular. There's 3 times as many. Nobody even knew about it, and 3 times as many. Sometimes I think if the show gets popular, people start forgetting about it, which is weird. But what a show, and what incredible poets. I met amazing people, and the Reverend Angel Dust started coming to my things, and I started going to the Reverend's things, and we found a common bond in legalizing marijuana at the Hemp Fest. And I'm telling you right now, thank you, I love that. Because of the Hemp Fests, it wasn't, because of the Hemp Fest, that's why you can get a medical marijuana card and get some very excellent weed down at the local supermarket. Anybody? Anybody? All right. Well, fuck you all and eat my balls. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome this. That's what I really meant to say. Just kidding. Laws against nature bug me. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason, the hurdy-gurdy.
Alright, cool. Is that alright? I can turn it up from here too. Alright, so this song is more or less by request. I would learn it on my own at some point because this song was on a record in my dad's record collection when I was growing up. A guy named Doc Watson. Shady Grove, mountain love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, mountain love, I'm bound to go away. Cheeks as red as a blooming rose, eyes are the prettiest brown. Ain't no girl in this old world, she's from town. Shady Grove, mountain love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, mountain love, I'm bound to go away. Wish I had a big fine horse. Alright. Wish I had a big fine horse and corn to feed him on, and Shady Grove to stay at home and feed him when I'm gone. see my shady grove, she's standing by the door. Shoes and stockings in her hands and little bare feet on the floor. Shady grove, my little love, shady grove, I say. Shady grove, my little love, I'm not to go away. Peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't have my shady grove, I won't have none at all. Shady grove, my little love, shady grove, I say. Shady grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Little shady grove, as sweet as brandy wine. Ain't no girl in this whole world is prettier than mine. Shady grove, my little love, shady grove, I say. Shady grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. Shady grove, my little love, shady grove, I say. Shady grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. It's the only problem I have with coming to the Tabernacle is I always drink too much beer and smoke too much weed before I go on the play. So then, like, all the shit that I practiced and planned earlier in the day, I'm like, oh, what? Fuck. Okay. Oh, God. Are you making me do another one? Is that what's happening? All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'll try to keep it short. I'll do another one that's one of the more recent ones I learned. So if you've heard this one recently too, again, I'm sorry. This is not a sea shanty per se, more of a Mississippi.